Good Sunday morning, everybody. Good Sunday morning. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For those joining for the first time, this is not a political poll, it's a spiritual poll. And welcome, everybody, as we jump up and down on this web of creation. And these days, I'm thinking, what am I creating? What am I putting my attention on? And what is pulling my attention? Last week, we talked about being anchors for world peace. And my inner dialogue has shifted so much to things that I don't know if they're important or if it just triggers me or whatever it is. So I thought it would be good to go back to the sacred four-directional prayer and walk the path of the sacred with new beginnings, north, south, east, west. Mother Earth, Father Sky, and us, jumping up and down on the web of creation. So when I say my morning meditation, I'm getting pulled to the 3D awareness. And when I was in Shasta, my brother was talking about breathing into groundedness. We're talking about the root chakra of the earth being Mount Shasta. And he was talking about when we're in meditation, when we're talking to somebody else, we need to be 80% in our bodies, in our groundedness, and 20% listening. And it's not a multitasking thing, what he was saying. And so I asked him about that today because I thought it was the other way around. Do we need to be 20% always grounded while we have 80% in the sky? And again, I'm thinking, of deep trance meditation type stuff. So I guess it depends on what we're thinking about, where we're going. Certainly with some of the external information that we're getting, we need to be 80% grounded. But when you're looking at trance channeling or just channeling or getting messages from spirit, I think it's the opposite. I think it's 20% grounded, 80% with spirit. Let me know what y'all think on that one. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong when it comes to this type of work if we are staying in the light, if we are staying only of the light, only for our best interest. And so when I wake up in the morning and I set my intention to walk the path of spirit, this is how it goes for me. And I said I wasn't going to throw a lot of cards. I said last week I threw way too many cards. The turtle, Mother Earth. And I think I've thrown just the right amount today. So what we have: north, south, east, west. So it depends on your camera orientation, but this is how I'm throwing the cards. North, south, east, west. Mother Earth, Father Sky, and us. And so as we walk this circle, what's the first thing that we come to in the day? Well, we want to thank Creator Energy for giving us breath. There's a huge fire just southeast of us right now. And it's in a relatively unpopulated area. Relatively doesn't mean much when you're right in it. And I think of the animals, and I think how their lives are moving on and or needing to be totally readjusted. And with fire always comes rebirth. So it's not as destructive as some fear, but it is destructive to allow rebirth. But where I'm going with this is, in the morning, I thank Creator, I thank Gaia for giving me clean air to breathe. Because sometimes I just forget. I take it for granted. Okay, let's move on. East. This is where the sun rises. This is where I normally start, because it's the start of the day. The East. Oh boy. Huh. Talk about death and rebirth. Talking about fires. This is the Light Seers Tarot. So as I call on the sun to bring me warmth, to bring me new awarenesses, to bring me strength, to wake up and get on with the day, with the full sun of the day down here in the south. This card is asking us, what do we want to let go of? What do we want to bring in with this death rebirth card? And we have the infinity symbol in between. What do we want to create? There's no limits to what we can do. In the south, as I go and walk to the south, I find myself thinking about this rebirth card, thinking about the infinity, thinking about what I want to let go of. Normally that's in the west with healing, what no longer serves me, but here it's in the east. What do I want to bring in? What do I need to let go of? And in the south, what we get, ooh, this is my true black deck. Look at them. This looks like the Ten of Swords initially, but it's not. It's the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer waters, asking for assistance to move through these dark waters. But we are getting through it. And it looks like there's pitfalls with that. Yes? It looks like there's things that we need to navigate. And if swords are truth, then we need to navigate through the truth. What is really true for us? And then I hear in my head, what is true that somebody else said is true? Danny, this is true for you. And I go, oh, thank you. And then I sit with it a little bit in my little boat, and I go, wait a minute, that's not my truth. That's not me. So there's a discernment in there too that I'm hearing. Play along with this too. How will you see these interpretations? I forgot to mention that you can hit pause and you can pull your 4 directions with Mother Earth, Father Sky, and yourself and see what you get, because that's important for your journey. This is a collective journey. This is, and more, my journey with thinking about the collective, where we are going. And we're moving on to calmer waters. That's at the base of this. That's at the full day. And when we look at this, when we look at our time on this planet right now, where everything seems to be so dark, we are moving through. We are moving through. There's a ray of light that is shining from down here. You can hardly see it. And you can see the ships. I think there's, it's interesting. There's 3 boats full of people moving through these waters. As we walk this path from the east to the south to the west, the healing waters of the west. And so I'm using Healing Waters Oracle, and it talks about the healing lagoon. Rejuvenate, recovery, time to heal. It is safe to stop. Wow. That last phrase, it is safe to stop. It feels like we are going. We need to get into that rejuvenating lagoon. Just stop what we're doing. Stop all this thought process in our heads as it spins around. Just be in the lagoon. Float. Lagoons are so peaceful. They're so quiet. One of the places I've always wanted to go to was the jellyfish lake in Palau. And in that lake, it's full of jellies, but they don't sting. They're non-stinging jellyfish. And I just thought of that here. It's so calm, it's so peaceful. Yeah, but there's things that can come out of the lagoon. No, they're non-stinging jellyfish. The healing lagoon. I mean, I would just hit pause and just play in that healing lagoon. Just be there. Float. And as we move to the top of the reading, angels and ancestors, this is the north direction. Well, that's interesting. This is the cover of the deck. And what it says is, animal guardians, trust your instincts. So in the north, for me, is White Buffalo Calf Woman. And her energy came to the Lakota people when there was a time of loss, of hunger, a time of non-abundance. And she brought ceremony to the Lakota people. She brought the sacred pipe. And they looked to her for this sacred path. And this card is suggesting that we have the sacred path within us. We know the right thing to do. If we make decisions with our heart, we're on the right path. And our instincts will be true. We don't need somebody else because we have the right instincts. And we have caring. This woman is carrying the sacred fawn, baby. We have the owl, the crow, the elk. I don't think I told you what I believe the animals or the power guides are for these directions. The east, it's eagle and hawk and condor for me. The south is coyote, snake, and jaguar. And the west is whale, bear, and shell woman. In the north is white buffalo calf woman, as well as buffalo. What does the Mother Earth say when we want to say thank you to Mother Earth? Mother Earth, the higher order of things, the Hierophant card. This is my Brady Tarot deck. This brings all of the religious order. They have the big book. But this brings it all under Gaia. All of the higher order is Gaia. That's our grounding. That's what we need to tap into. That's what we need to thank for allowing us to stay on her shoulders, in her arms. And the prayer that I always remember is, remind me to always take less and give more to Mother Earth. And when I'm camping, I always work on leaving the space that I am staying in better than when I got there. And I got to tell you, sometimes it's really easy to do that because people just throw crap everywhere. But lately, I've been finding I have to look pretty hard to find some garbage that I can pick up, but there's always something to do to make it a little better. And I think in the front of this video, I'll put what somebody did to make my campsite better, and just was so amazing that they added that energy to my campsite when I was in Shasta. That was pretty cool. All right, moving on to Father Sky. I'm using my Starseed Oracle deck. Ooh. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Wow. We're going through this birth, death, and rebirth. Moving on. We are shifting. We are moving. It's hard because we're hanging on. We're not letting things go. It's okay to stop. It's okay to rest in that healing water lagoon. And where are we in all of this? I have my Mystical Shaman card. We have the sun. In some cultures, I go back to the East, condor and eagle, male and female. Some cultures think of the sun as divine masculine. Others think of the sun as divine feminine. It's warmth, but it can be destructive as well. Just hang out in Death Valley in the summer. 120 degrees. And in Australia, I'm sure there's some places out there. But the sun gives us the energy for plants to grow. It gives us energy to grow and to see things, full illumination, joy, happiness. Sometimes I feel when I look at this card that I should be dancing in the sun. A lot of times we dance in the moonlight, and the full moon's Dance midday. Awesome. Awesome. Clearly, it feels with these cards that we are going through the birth canal for something new. And I'm reminded for us to stay positive, to stay in creation. What do we want to create? What is it that we want to create with Mother Earth? What do we want to give birth to? Moving on from troubled dark waters. All right, thank you guys for being here on this Sunday with Spirit. Peace and love.